Welcome back, everybody. It is match 4, and I'm so excited to be back. I mean, man, we just had a really amazing green room. It's motivated us to cast it with all the energy in both of our systems.
I'm super hyped. I'm down for a change of conversation. What happens in the green room stays in the green room. But speaking of awesome, to totally change the topic, we just watched an absolute banger game just now, fam.
Yes, we did. I mean, RLS continuing on their winning ways. Cloud9 having the best name in the business right now. I'm sure C9 is going to want their trademark back, but I love the name. Man, that photo was actually really nice. Yeah, give me some visors like that.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. And I kind of love the knockoff LCS vibes. You have Team Wet, like alternate Team Liquid. We have Cloud9, alternate C9. It's really just perfect. I think depending on who you are, LCS knockoff deeds.
Of course. I mean, I would say depending on who you ask, Cloud9 is the current C9, so it's about the same thing.
So it's just the spirit animal, is channeling that same energy. Anyway, we take a look at the bans here. We got Diana, we got Swain banned from Llama. It's definitely a Llama ban. I believe that Diana is being banned away from GodX Anime, and Twitch being banned as well. And on the other side, we've seen Team Wash banning Vigar, Bard, and Sivir. You gotta ban Bard from the CEO of Bard. This is main champ.
That is the best name we've had in FOF history. I love it. The
CEO of Bard Inc.
I mean, if we ever get tournament realm accounts, he just needs to be the CEO. I'm surprised that's not taken yet.
True. I mean, it's got to happen.
Karma is going to be the first pick. A champion we haven't really been seeing that much. She's kind of gotten outshadowed by just better version of her, Renata. But, I mean, she does still provide a lot of utility. The Mantra E is still fantastic in teamfight, getting all of that move speed. And thank God, I'm so happy the raid boss of this champion has been terrorizing the LCS, and we are now seeing it in FOF. Seraphine is on the map. Oh man, just all the neckbeards just rise up. This is one of the best champions in the game.
Yeah, it's boggers. You can miss every single spell in your kit, then mash up you standing next to 5 people and heal your team to full health from 1 HP. It's kind of nuts. And full disclosure, I'm affiliated with Team Wash. You can see me listed as one of the coaches, so I have a little bit of insider information about this draft. Already going a little off script. We were thinking of picking these champions, but this is not the exact permutation that we talked about. Expected something different from Team Wash.
The coach is upset. Well, we don't endorse insider trading here at FOF, so Civiloc's not going to disclose draft strategy at the moment.
Yeah. I'm going to wait for it to be selected, just in case Coach Brennan has a change of heart. But, we do have Surf and Bold, very good champions. And meanwhile, a Moo Misfortune. We have Curse of the Sad Bullet Time locked in for Cloud9. And, I guess it could technically be Karma mid, a Moo support, but I expect to see this Karma in the bottom lane and a Moo in the jungle.
Absolutely. Amumu coming back into the meta is, he's one of the more interesting champions. Giving him that double Q was a big buff that threw him into the support role for a long time. I mean, his issue has never been his team fighting. In fact, if his clear was a little bit faster, we'd probably be seeing a professional play right now. But just an AP AoE jungler is going to be very, very good. And a champion that is very strong into Seraphine, because she definitely needs to be CC'd from long range to prevent her from just max range killing everybody with those extremely long range spells.
Yeah, I love the response from Cloud9. You see Seraphine locked in, that their game plan is going to involve putting 5 people and standing on top of each other. That's the one thing Seraphine does, but she does it pretty darn well. And if you know they're going to do that, what do you do? Well, you make sure that all those 5 people are being hit by Moo ult and Misfortune ultimate at the same time. So overall, great plan. I love it. Team Wash, on the other hand, they're taking a little bit of a different direction. Normally you see this sort of AoE team fighting comp with Seraphine, just power up all your melee champions so they heal, but there's actually a little bit of a different dimension here. You have a lot of pick tools with Volibear starting off with the initial stun, and then Seraphine Jhin getting the really long range follow-up. So Team Wash, they don't necessarily have to team fight.
Oh, and absolutely, and that is no true words have ever been spoken. We're going old school with the Jin Zyra combination. This lane was a
Oh,
terror back in the day. If you get rooted by either the Jin or the Zyra, 100% to zero is in your future. So fantastic to see some of these old lanes returning. Build the Pony taking the Zyra, a champion we don't see very often. And as long as no crazy amounts of dive comes out, this should be okay. But we're gonna see it as the Camille Galio is gonna be the last two selections.
okay. So Cloud9, they see the Seraphine and they say, Seraphine, no problem. We're just gonna double down. If we just keep hitting you with enough CC, you'll never be able to wake up and press Seraphine W. So they're all in on the AoE wombo combo. They have Camille Galio, they have Curse of the Sad Mummy, they have the Karma Speed to get in there in the first place and do battle. And they're just gonna battle. Team Wash, on the other hand, instead of using the Seraphine heal to power up their melees and play like a meatball-based composition, they're actually playing more for a pick comp, and they're using Seraphine W as a disengage tool. They're going to use the shield and the move speed to run away, keep their carries alive. They have this Jin Zyra as a powerful backline threat, and they're going to try and disengage using the Zyra Stranglethorns and the Seraphine ultimate instead, and try to counter-engage. So overall, really different, really interesting game plans here. I'm a little bit upset though because Brendan totally threw out all of the draft prep I did for him.
Speaking of, since you are part of the coaching staff, this is a rare opportunity I get to have where I get to ask a coach of a team a question about where the draft philosophy actually went. So I have some concerns about what Team Wash has selected.
Honest, I have a lot of concerns too because this looks nothing like the draft prep that we did.
Yeah, my main concern is that you've now drafted four AP champions because Volibear is going to go tank, so the majority of his damage is AP into Galio. So tell me what that's come through of Galio just not becoming the Magic Super Tank.
Yeah, I would explain it to you, but I've never seen this draft before in my life.
Okay, you've heard it here first. Brendan's now going to be fired. He's going to...
I don't know what head coach Brendan. I'm just the assistant coach. I'm a backup sub. Brendan's head coach. He's the strategic mastermind behind Wash. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm sure Brendan has a sick plan ready to go, and this is all on purpose. We're saving our original draft for next game. Just in case.
Yep. Civillock is sure that Brendan has an idea. I am sure that a Golden Guardians-esque coach retirement speech is coming out next on Twitter after this matchup. So we will see who's right between this match between C9 and Team Wash as they get into it with, I want to say, interesting combination for both champions we don't see very often. And I'm honestly just happy to see the Galio come back out. I mean, it's a champion who I think has a lot of interesting permutations, whether it goes the full AP or goes the more magic resist heavy route. And against Seraphine, giving her a free lane is always dangerous, but Pure Llama is going to have the ability to have a big impact, and I'm really interested to see how he's going to manage these team fights.
Yeah, in the pure 1v1 interaction, normally I would favor Pure Llama on the Seraphine into Gonza's Galio. Galio is a lot of utility, but he just can't really pressure Seraphine. Sure, if you get the good jungle gank, which is definitely possible, you can just chain CC. But in terms of the 1v1 lane, Galio just can't really match Seraphine wave clear wave. Seraphine can just keep throwing EQ into the wave, and Galio just kind of has to sit there and be sad.
Oh my god, it starts at level 1. Jeez, instant kill on the three melee minions, and then heavily chunks out the range minions. Jeez, this is the NA special. It feels bad to be good to be home.
Yeah, I'm a little bit not a fan of this corrupting potion buy for Gonza. I think corrupting potion makes sense conceptually, but I just been really unhappy with corrupting potion post nerf, and you have the teleport already. It's probably enough to sustain. I would like to see Darksteel refill pod or maybe even Doranstring, but corrupting potion will be fine. I don't think it's going to make or break the game. Just personal feelings since I also play Galio.
I actually did forget you are a very big Galio player, and
it was kind of my signature champion for a while.
And UB signature champion was everything. You guys played and seemed to have the old school CLG color wheel to pick your compositions, and it worked every time. So I'm interested to see how that's going to translate to Mythic.
Yeah, a bit of UB lore. Speaking of colors, I think Jeff has adopted this in his coaching philosophy for RLS too. So we use a tool called the mood meter. It's part of
Oh
UB's
god, there's an
success.
actual color wheel. Holy
Yeah,
moly!
there's a wheel and does all the colors and they correspond to your feelings. And we share about how we're feeling before every game. And honestly, that's a major part of our team synergy, and we couldn't have succeeded without it.
Oh, that's what we like to hear. You be providing love and free therapy. That's what we
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
That's what we provide here at FOF. As
I spend all day as a teacher. I'm just teaching small children social emotional skills, and for fun, I teach my friends social emotional skills. Oh, hold that thought. Social emotional skills.
needed as first blood's gonna be grabbed. Good invade. Pure Llama punishing this Amumu, having a little bit of a slower clear and just unable to get through those first four camps.
Yeah, speaking of emotional regulation strategies, I think Cheeky may have to be applying some of those right now because this is a very, very sad mummy. If you lose all your top camps, you lose your blue buff, you lose your life. That's definitely not where you want to be as a jungler. But it's fine. You're moving. You're scaling. You're just gonna walk sadly into the bottom crab and hope that Godx Anime gives it to you.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I was a free one. Speaking since we are talking about a little bit of emotional intelligence, how does League factor into your ability to be emotionally intelligent?
Um, that's a really great question. I think it really doesn't, and yeah, that's all I got. Speaking of gaming though, and education, as getting back to work soon because school year's starting, and I saw a student who I used to work with last year. She's going into 5th grade. It's pretty exciting. I was like, yeah, what are you doing? What are you up to this summer? She's like, oh, great, had a lot of fun. I was like, oh, what did you do for fun? And she's like, oh, I was playing some games. She's like, oh, cool, what games? And she's like, Doom Eternal. And I was like, whoa, what's that? Like, you're going to 5th grade? And she's like, yeah. Do your parents know? And she's like, I love gore. And I was like, that's not what I was asking. But anyway, kids are learning great things. The kids are fine. They're doing all right these days.
Some of them definitely. That was an interesting segue.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was speaking with with a young kid who I help out with some of the stuff at my job, and he told me how much he loves GTA, and he spends all of his time in the strip club. So these kids are really
yeah, they're learning something. Maybe not what we want them to, but they're definitely learning something.
And, I think someone's learning some Godx Anime looking for the bot side gank. Gonna shy away from it. The lane's not in the best position as this 1v1 is gonna be really in the disadvantages. The C9 top laner is getting punished by this PJ Salt, getting all those extra damage down from that passive.
Yeah, Jawa getting super low, but does still have teleport to get back, to recoup that health. This is going to be a Camille favored matchup. It's not necessarily good early, but eventually Mordekaiser sends you the Shadow Realm, and then Camille's like, oh sweet, it's a time to 1v1, then counter ults you, and then just beats you to death in your own Shadow Realm. So overall, in the long run, this is going to go further and further in favor of Jawa, but I think PJ is making the best of the matchup, especially in this early game, putting a lot of pressure down.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering now that my mind's a little bit distracted. But I have one of the most intelligent color casters on here with me to give me the answer. What is Mordekaiser's passive called?
Oh man, it's the touchy circle thing, the burn thing.
The burn thing.
The burn thing. That's my best guess.
It is called Darkness Rise.
Darkness Rise. See, I don't really know a lot of Mordekaiser spells because I can't see them. So fun fact, if you want to beat Yubi in Mythic, all you have to do is select green and red skin particle effects because I'm red-green colorblind. And all of Mordekaiser's skins are horrible for me. For several patches, I couldn't tell what Mordekaiser E looked like. And I also couldn't tell the difference between his Q and his E, which is... you'd think would be pretty obvious, but I was just really confused. A really confused patch.
I'm just not surprised that Riot has gone peak edgy with calling that ability Darkness Rise.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Can darkness even rise? Because darkness is just the absence of light. How can the negation of something be rising? By the way, I'm the smartest color caster. Yeah, Jawa's still struggling a little bit and hasn't committed that teleport, just trying to leech experience. I'm not at a huge deficit, but with the wave slow pushing out, it's going to be a little bit rough for Camille in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Camille's early laning phase has been notoriously weak for a while now. I mean, it's basically unless you're in anyone not named Ornn, you do struggle early on. As this is going to be Godex Anime looking for the dragon, a level up on the Amumu as he does this. This is not going to be a good fight if C9 does choose to look for it. But this could be a free dragon as they're going to be first move from the bot side. That's going to push Godex Anime away from the dragon.
Yeah, C9 is going to dislodge them. Llama does, however, have control. Unfortunately, with the Galley ultimate, Gonzo still can't show up despite the lack of priority. And it looks like we're just resetting back to neutral. And Mumu maybe turning their sights to the dragon? Not as clearing vision. So overall, pretty quiet early game, which is what I expect. Both these teams have a lot of scaling power. You have Seraphine on one side, Amumu on the other. And I think both teams should be pretty happy to not coin flip over something silly. You know, they're just going to farm it out, and we're going to look for the team fights where things are really going to happen because both these teams have crazy team fighting tools.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really going to be dependent. I mean, when you have a game like this where the team fights are so dependent on how strong Camille is at any given time, she needs to be able to solo out at least one of these big carries. But the laning phase is kind of been across where it's even in the top side, but the big advantages we're seeing is this mid lane. Pure Llama playing a fantastic lane so far with almost a 20 CS advantage. Oh, the CEO's in the house getting the first kill over onto Zyra. And
Jawa lives. Man, what is going on? Jawa lives in the top side. Build the Pony dies bottom. Okay, so he's just greeting out with very low health. Thinks he's okay to recall, and it looks like just Karma Mantra Q one-shots him with the Comet. That is a little unfortunate. Here on the other side, it looks like PJ thinks he has the burn kill and then backs out just a little too early. Could have easily converted that, so a huge loss, unfortunately, on the top side of the map. It's a big missed opportunity, and with that tempo advantage, C9 is going to turn their sights to the dragon. I think they're just going to get this for free.
Yeah, very, very big picking up this dragon. Now, this is also very big for Cheeky Blinders in particular because there is still catch-up XP on dragon kills. This probably will give him level 6 in experience, and yes, it will. So that is a big bit of comeback because he had been falling very far behind in the jungle matchup.
Yeah, Cheeky Blinders still kind of trying to overcome that deficit by the early invade. So Godex Anime is still driving the tempo of the game. It's up a significant amount of CS, so we'll see if
Cheeky Blinders, is he going to land the Q? It's going to be all on him. Q's going to ultimate's going to be through all the damage going to be there as Pure Llama's going to find himself into the death chamber. Very well executed gank and good Q set up for Build the Pony, for Cheeky Blinders rather, getting that stun and preventing Pure Llama from having any opportunity to flash away.
Yeah, that was amazing CC layering, really clean, and Llama has no way out, you know, just can't move for the entire duration of play. Goes down, so it's going to be a kill. However, Gonza is still down quite a bit of CS even after this wave crash. So, you know, I think overall, we're just going to return to a pretty pleasant neutral mid game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I respect that. Respect that play. Pure Llama going for the movement option, not going to instantly flash, wanting to try to outskill it, save the flash for a later date. And it's not the end of the world to give a kill over to Amumu at this point. So, not the worst decision, as this is going to be the pullback. The hook shot is going to be there, still having the cooldown, so there's not going to be any more trading. But this lane has not been going well in the later stages.
Well, looks like Godex Anime is shoving the wave in and does have Rift Herald available. I wouldn't be surprised to see that attempted to be crashed right here. Cheeky Blinders looking for the counter gank, but Llama moving early.
Yeah, they're showing on the wave. Ultimate's going to be available for the Camille, but Pure Llama's walking up. Going to be the first one here. Hookshot's going to be down. Stun's going to land, and that's a freebie given over so far. Big Charm's going to follow up. Now that's first kill. He's going to grab it with the beautiful W. Well played to him, as that is going to force the walkout from this Galio, who's already in trouble, as Ultimate's going to come through. The dive's going to be there. Amumu is going to be sad today, as he's going to find himself looking at the gray screen. 2 kills grabbed over.
And Wash finds big kills there. It looks like C9's confident they can challenge the play using Galio Ultimate. Heroic Entrance goes off. Oh, we're going to have to hold that thought. Whoa! Big damage coming out.
The root and the ultimate barely going to allow Build the Pony to save his life. Now they're going to walk it out. There's no mantra Q for the CEO just yet. He does have flash available if you wanted to look.
Oh, he is looking. He's hungry. He's looking for blood. It looks like Build the Pony's wisened up, learns his lesson. Does not recall in the most greedy place possible. Ooh, the Ganondorf lives.
Lesson learned on that one. Lesson learned.
Yeah, lesson learned. There's a lot of poke coming out of Music Boy and CEO. They have the hail of bullets and they have the mantra key. It's just big damage all around. Anyway, going back to the top side, it looked like C9 was confident they could stop the Rift Herald play using heroic entrance, but with Llama moving early, they get a great Seraphine ultimate. It just totally disrupts C9's fighting formation. And with that last empowered long range Seraphine auto attack from the passive, they secure that kill.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked more so like Jawa didn't get off the Hextech ultimatum in a good position to really try to punish either the Mordekaiser or the Volibear. So the walkout kind of got them out of tower range, and after that, the fight was over. So well done on the side of Team Watch, knowing their ranges and backing off at the proper times to prevent themselves from getting ulted in the tower.
Yeah, I know something that Watch has been working on is their fast and decisive plays, and I think you really saw that coordination coming out of the top side play. Everyone was on the same page; they knew where they were crashing the Herald, and even though I think conceptually C9 had the tools to stop it, the fact that Watch was so decisive and so fast on their engagement, they got the fast kill conversion, they killed the entire tower, and there was just nothing C9 could do because C9 was not ready.
No, sorry, and they are getting first move into this Baron pit. Good ward clearing so far. Build opponent's going to grab one here. Look, oh, actually, no, not having the autos there fast enough, so they're going to miss out on the gold. Sad pony.
Sad pony indeed, but he's gonna limp away. He's gonna stay alive, and that's what matters. Because with Dragon coming up, we're in the line for a battle, and I do love battling, found.
All right, battle lines drawn. No items are really completed other than the Eclipse is from the side of Music Boy. Root's going to land, though. That's going to be a free pick, as Wash is already going to get the advantage. Pure Llama is going to grab the CEO, whose company is going under at the moment.
Yeah, CEO Bard wandering into the demilitarized zone, and that is no man's land. Immediately gets blasted from a million miles away by Jin W and all the CC combo. And that's what we were talking about with the Wash draft. This is definitely not what I had prepped for Brendan, but it's looking pretty good. They have all this long range CC, really reliable follow up, and Volibear Q is just a death sentence for anyone it hits.
Yep, Goddess Anime is going to get the stun. Galio Ultimate's going to knock him up, though. Goddess Ultimate's going to be there for the side of Build a Pony, and that's the trade on to the side of Cheeky Blinder, who is going to die, but and the 2 kills are going to be already grabbed over. Wash is going to be looking for it all. 3 for 4 at the moment in this fight, and it's going to be a team fight win for the side of C9, but Wash does have the positional advantage onto this Dragon if they're going to look to go for it, but no jungler available.
I thought for sure that was crushing by Wash. Llama gets a really excellently timed ultimate that instantly cancels Music Boy's bullet time. But there's just a little bit of an overreach, and they're not able to convert all those kills. C9 instead is going to take control of the river here, and I don't think Wash is going to be back in time to contest this dragon. However, neither jungler is alive, so this could get a little spicy.
Yep, but they are both sprinting outside the base. Root is not going to be there so far. That is going to be Camille's going to be able to get out. Java's going to keep his life so far. Ignite's going to be ticking. But Wash is going to manage to get this dragon so far. Is the steal going to be there, though? Flash available on Cheeky Blinder. She is on the ward. They do know he's there. He's looking for it. And, man, this is going to be so close. Is he going to choose to not trade his life for it and just give the dragon over, as Godox Anime is going to secure that for his team?
Yeah, really disciplined by Wash and really coordinated. They refight, they regroup, they take control back, harass Jawa out, and they're able to take the dragon for their efforts. And not only that, they don't even miss anything top. With the top tower down, they just get a great wave bounce for PJ, and it's going to be happy to scoop up this juicy cannon wave waiting for in the top lane.
Absolutely. As they choose to fight instead, Cheeky Blinder is going to be stunned up, taking so much damage. Amumu is going to be forced to flash away, ignited, but is not going to die. So a lot of resources used before this Rift Herald. No ultimate on the Mumu.
Yeah, missing a lot of key cooldowns, Something that's really interesting is that Wash, they're not necessarily converting all these kills, but they're getting so much pressure off this damage. With Rift Herald up, Amumu is chunked out. This is super hard to get an effective Amumu ult when you're already that low, and I think it's just going to give them river control. That's a great way to use their cooldowns. There's a lot of things something that a lot of players don't appreciate is that, getting kills is nice. You always want to get the kill, but oftentimes forcing someone low so that they have to recall is just as good in terms of the objective control. Like, this Amumu has no chance of contesting this Rift Herald play because they're already too low. Cheeky Blinders is content to just go back to farming.
Yeah, absolutely. C9 utilizing some restraint there. Once the ultimate is out, there's basically no chance of taking the fight. So just going to look to have this jungler clear his jungle a little bit, give up the Rift Herald. Hopefully, they're not going to bleed out too much if you're protecting your tower as well. Only expected to lose one from that Rift Herald charge, so not in the end of the world. And at this point, I mean, this Seraphine is so strong, you don't want to continue fighting into Pure Llama.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of tough. They may not want to keep fighting, but they sort of have to. They have a pretty short range composition, and they're really reliant on comboing with CC to get a big bullet time off. So with that in mind, C9, I don't know if they can stop taking these fights. They have worse wave clear, they have shorter range. They need to take the fight to Wash, or they're just going to get outscaled by Seraphine.
Absolutely. I mean, flanking is mandatory at this point, and it's going to be a lot on Jawa to find angles into this backline. Let Gonza get in with that ultimate to really punish a misposition mistake from the side of Wash, as this is going to be the Rift Herald looking to take the tower, and Goddess Anime is looking for the stun onto the CEO. Not going to go super in to try to get it, as this is the second charge that is close. Are they going to be able to hit the eye?
Oh, they do stop the charge, but they do lose the mid tier one. Oh, looks like Erebus opening up. It's a firing range, but no, they're just getting a little bit of pressure. Really interesting by Wash. They're not afraid to use these cooldowns for pressure. And on a more T-fight oriented comp, that could be a liability. But with their poke and their siege, they can just freely throw cooldowns, chunk somebody out, and walk away. There's nothing that C9 can do because Llama just taps W and they casually walk away.
Yeah, this is just not the point in the game. Also, where Curtain Call does much damage. It is a big scaling ultimate. It can be very useful in the late game once you get a couple more items under your belt. But at this point, it's just good for minor poke or unless someone is really, really low HP. So good uses of the ultimate, trying to get the second charge, unable to do so, but able to force them back anyway. And now right back to the bot lane, trying to collect up some more farm.
Yeah, in a way, I feel like it was almost a disengage ultimate, which you don't normally see from Jin, but I think it made a ton of sense. Like, they don't want to give C9 the team fight. Erebus was already safely positioned, so you just open up with Jin ultimate final curtains so that they can't engage through the slow. So really great, like, deterrence ultimate. And look, they just reset, they come back. Erebus is going to have ult by the time he needs it next time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cooldown's not super long. Basing right now, going to pick up two more long swords in the pocket. I mean, just look at where the items are congested. Two completed items in this top side already. PJ Salt is on a tear, ready to do some damage. No one can fight this man at this point. And Jawa is pretty far away from his next item. He opted in to go to the Bramble Vest instead of the Executioner calling.
I hate that, to be honest. I'll hold that thought.
Well, I know someone else is saying something. Is the CEO is going to be going bankrupt? And here's the ultimate coming out. Cheeky Blinders is going to take a 1v1 that he cannot win. PJ Salt is going to lay the mace down as 2 kills are going to get over to the side of Team Wash as they grab up some free ones and they're going to look to take this bot tower.
Yeah, unfortunately, the government's not here to bail out the CEO. This time does go down for free in the river. Cheeky Blinders tries to bail out the play and saddled with their own death. And I think it's just going to be full river control and dragon for Wash.
Jesus Christ, we're utilizing government jokes. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel, man.
Yeah, you know. You gotta keep fresh, keep spicy. I'm just not a fan of this Bramble Vest. I'm pretty sure Wash gets this for free. Can I talk about Bramble Vest yet? Yeah, I think we're good. The Bramble Vest, it can be fine on a lot of tanks, and it can be good on a lot of AoE CC spells, but people don't realize this. The Bramble Vest enhanced Grievous Wounds only applies on CC application, and Camille's hitting that on E, I guess, 1v1.
Well, we're about to see how useful it's going to be, as PJ Salt's just going to smack him down. You're not going to get too into that team fight. That was not close at all.
Yeah, so. I mean, I'm not saying that Camille would have won if they didn't have Bramble Vest, but I'm not sure I feel about Jaw building an arm right against quad AP. That's all I'm saying.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Music Boy.
Music Boy.
Not able to the
music. Yep, another victim. And Watch is just, they're rolling in here. There's nothing stopping this push. PJ's just hanging out top lane with Krugs, and he doesn't even need to do anything. The 4-man siege bottom, can C9 even do anything against this? They're down a member, they can't engage, and they have lower range and worse wave clear. They're just going to get attritioned out.
Yeah, this real only ratio is going to come from the CEO right now, who's trying to get the Qs to clear out the wave. Cheeky Blinders is going to be able to get in. That's going to force the walk back. Wash not opting to go for a dive, doesn't want to risk their gold lead, especially without their big man in the top lane, who's getting all the pressure out, allows some of that CS to be collected up. But it's just yeah, it's definitely been rough in this top side. Unable to really get a lot of usage out of the side of this Camille pick, and when she's behind, she's not going to be able to have that solo kill pressure to really get into the backline and make the Galio ultimate useful. So. Jawa is going to have to pick it up, and he is going to be able to collect some CS into the side wave to get him closer to where he needs to be.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate because, you have Jawa in a favorable matchup. Camille should be scaling and beating Mordekaiser 1v1, but instead they're behind in a composition that super relies on Camille to get the fight started. Gonza needs Jawa to go in to get Hero's entrance off. And without Hero's entrance, it's so much harder for Cheeky Blinders to get the combo with Cursed Sad Mummy, and just everything in their comp is just falling apart.
Absolutely. I mean, there is some positives. There is still avenues in. Music Boy is very far ahead. He does have his Eclipse built up. I'm going to have that transfer on the Moria Man soon, too. That is a lot of damage that if can come through, if the Wombo combo lands and all of the priority targets are caught up by Cheeky Blinders, a Mumu ultimate, there is still a possibility of getting some good team fights as you see how much healing Seraphine is already giving out.
Oh, so gross. But yeah, I mean, we've been focusing a lot on these kills, but Music Boy's been quietly farming up a storm. They got those early kills onto Build a Pony, and with this 40, almost 50 CS lead in favor of Music Boy, this MF ultimate can still one-shot the entire team on Wash if they're not careful.
Yeah, it's just a battle of who is going to be the more impactful. Is it going to be this top lane Mordekaiser who can 1v1 anyone at the moment, or are there going to be some big ultimates from Music Boy who is going to be in trouble right behind them as guys is going to find them, and Misfortune has no chance of getting out. Music Boy is going to drop. Ultimate's going to come through for Godex Anime as Cheeky Blinders is going to try to find his way out. The Chomp is going to be there. Root's going to be there. Double kill going to be grabbed by Pure Llama. Good auto attack to finish it off, and this is just going to be a free tower in the mid lane as they are going to look to now double back for this Baron.
Wow, the discipline by Wash. They're not going crazy. They're not going overkill. Getting free kills and they're taking towers. And, that's so disciplined. I really respect that a lot and really happy to see that, as their coach. And, yeah, they're just taking tower after tower. C9 can't do anything.
The coach is going to talk about some discipline. They're going to go for this tier 2 tower. I would have liked them to have sprinted to Baron. Jungle dead, Baron dead is what usually happens. But they are going to opt away from it and just try to get this easy gold on the map. They are going to be able to pick up this tier 2, so not the end of the world. And they're going to save that big back-breaking advantage for a little later on. As now, it's going to be interrupted, so that's really close to Jawa losing his life.
Yeah, I was worried there, but thankfully Jawa's team's there to back them up. They still have Gonza there. They have Music Boy. They have CEO, Karma Shield, and it's okay, but it was a little bit dicey there for a moment. And watch, they're gonna full reset. They're moving back on the map. They have this triple item completion for Llama, who's ginormous. Erebus is not that strong yet, but you're always Jin, you always have W, and you can always layer that CC. And it's so hard to beat Wash because how do you outplay them once you're behind? It's just Godex Anime is going to walk up, Q you in the face, and then you're going to tank Jin Root and Zyra Root and Seraphine combo, and you're not going to move for like 10 seconds. It's so hard to outplay that.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're on the side of C9, we're watching Cheeky Blinders. We're watching Music Boy. Music Boy just got his Mirror Mana completion before this fight. This is third dragon on the clock. Poke's going to land on Build a Pony. Q is going to be in there for Cheeky Blinders. Going to be in trouble to get out of pit. God X Anime is going to walk away. Galio Ultimate's not going to get any value, but the dragon's going to go over to Music Boy. Stun's going to be landing, and too much damage is going to be as the hop back in is going to be there. And this Seraphine's Ultimate's going to grab everybody. Objective bounty claim, but bodies are not going to be able to be saved as an ace is going to come through for Team Wash.
Man, it was looking a little dicey there, and C9 makes that look close, but unfortunately the fight position is just too powerful. Llama lives the entire fight. Let's see how this gets started. They come over the pit, and Gally unfortunately is has to ult extremely early. They waste the FF bullet time, and it gets the kills onto the front line, but with Seraphine untouched, Llama's able to carry the rest of this fight. Erebus and Llama working together and coordinating. Only Build a Pony and Godix Anime have gone down, and with the huge Seraphine ultimate, they just clean house here at the end. Everyone on C9 is trapped in the pit. They just get machine gunned down.
Yeah, anytime a 4-man ultimate lands at this point from Seraphine, who's 6-1 in 7, amazing game on Pure Llama, showing some versatility, playing this more supportive pick. I don't know, is Seraphine even still considered supportive?
I mean, she's supportive of that. She has a ridiculous shield, but like she does damage. She has CC. She has a huge engage ultimate. Like, I don't know. Seraphine's kind of a playmaker. Like,
and she's just a mage now. She's just like a mage. Like she's Victor with more range.
Yeah, she wave clears, she heals, she shields, she gives move speed, she engages, she peels, she carries on her own, she scales. It's like, what? This character is kind of insane. They already had to nerf it a little bit just because it's pretty strong mid. It's disgusting bottom lane because then you get all the same benefits of Seraphine mid, but then you get user passive.
It's going to be landing. The CEO is going to dodge the one stun, but not enough to prevent Godix Anime from grabbing the other kill.
Can't outplay Thunderbear. He just slaps you and then you're stunned. Just pointing click. He walks really fast.
Music Boy is going to flash away. The ultimate from PJ Salt isn't going to come through, but a free flash going to be grabbed as Music Boy is going to be forced to walk away from the tower. And now this is a setup for at least 2 inhibitors to be dropping.
Yeah, they have the Baron. They're just shoving. And yeah, I don't know if C9 has any other options left. They're short range comp. They have to engage, and their window is, I think, already closed. Watch is just never going to give them the fight that they want. They just walk away. The audacity.
The free mid inhibitor collected up, not a problem at all. Coach Proud in the wings, and then this game has gotten completely out of control. There is no way for the magic resist to come through, and no one has even grabbed any. So this is a little bit of a failure on C9 of recognizing their wing condition and seeing where this damage is going to be coming through. Jhin is the only AD threat, and no MR is collected up just yet, other than on the Amu, who's grabbed the next on Tro. So they're very far away from having the defensive tools necessary to be able to take these fights.
Yeah, a little bit of a misread. If anything, 4 armor items.
We're not going to talk about that because the CEO is in trouble and he's going to try to make it out. Going to be able to get away with that Mantra E. So safe on the side of this Karma so far. Baron still is going to be on the members of Team Wash.
Yeah, we'll see if the CEO of Bard can get a few more of the shareholders over here because they're going to need to stop this siege in the top lane. They're getting control back in mid, but look, PJ has just rolled the waves down bottom. He's totally uncontested. No one is matching him, and they're going to try and send Gonza. You are not happy to match against Mordekaiser's Galio. I know because I've been this Galio before, and I was very, very sad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are never going to run out of business jokes at this point. We're still waiting. The CEO is going to pay his taxes soon. That's going to be it. The root's going to land. Music Boy's in trouble. He's going to get stunned up. Seraphine Ultimate's going to grab 3. And Pure Llama's on a tear. Going to be getting a killing spree already. Cheeky Blinder's going to be able to walk out. Damage is coming through. Root's not going to land on the side of the CEO as he's going to make sure he stays safe. Only 1 kill grabbed up so far as Music Boy's the only one to drop. But a free inhibitor is going to be grabbed on the bot side. And Gonza is going to be in trouble. Stun's going to land. Godix Anime is continuously finding these bear slaps. That's going to keep picking up kills. Another kill is going to be grabbed on the backside. Stun's going to land on Godix Anime, still taking a bunch of damage, but he's healing too much to be killed. Double kill for the Jhin. The walk away is not going to be there. PJ Salt's trying to find the last one. So many they've trying to chase away, and it's over for side team Wash. They've been fighting too hard, and this is a clean win for the side of them. Is the ultimate finally is going to come out, but it's just not enough.
Nexus explodes. You know, Wash trying to test your lung capacity there, found, see if they can make you pass out. But the fight finally ends, and Wash, they just steamroll through in what looked like a pretty easy game. You know, I know that C9 was 0 wins so far, but like we've said it again and again, C9 never really looks bad even in their losses. Every game looks close, and they just kind of barely fall apart in the mid game. And Wash, they just take a really commanding lead right from the get-go. They crush all their lanes, they play to their win condition, and everyone was just so disciplined and working together. This is a totally different Wash roster than the one we saw during week 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Changes are a part of growth. It takes a long time to reach the end goal of any journey, and we're still have plenty of time to travel. As Wash did play a fantastic game, but there's tons of useful takeaways for the side of C9. But I mean, just credit where it's due. Bill the Pony played very well on the Zyra, landing up those roots consistently. And this bot side was pretty underrated. 4-0-9 for the Jin. I mean, Pure Llama and Godix Anime are going to be the stars of this of the show. PJ Saw did play very well in his 1v1 matchup, but just fantastic Seraphine ultimates all around. They have at least 3 multi-man ultimates from the Seraphine, and when that happens, you're always set up for good team fight wins.
Yeah, just spectacular coordination from Wash, and they really turned that around into pretty clean win. Cloud9, I don't know. Like, I really love all the funky and experimental stuff they do. But I don't know. I felt a little bit off with their drafts. And honestly, I feel like if they draft in a way that's more appropriate for their style, they can make a lot more action happen because they have individually really strong players. We just haven't really gone to see it yet because their drafts don't always have a really clear or simple to execute win condition.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had 4 amazing games today. A lot of well-played league, and FOF always puts on a show, and we thank everyone who stayed the entire night to view all the matchups. We have more to come this week, so don't go away. And we have an interview with one of our members of the Victoria Team Watch coming up, so there's still more content coming out. But thank you for joining us, as this is going to be it for me and Civil Lock today.
Have a good night.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for patiently waiting. We are back here with the final interview of the night after a fantastic game versus Team Cloud9 versus Team Wash. I'm joined by the victor here. I've got the top laner who was an absolute menace on Mordekaiser that game. I am PJ Salt. How are you doing, my friend, after that victory?
Doing good. Feeling good. It feels good to get another win.
Yeah, I mean, I bet it does, you know. We're feeling a little... We're kind of confused, you know. I think in the preseason, in the power rankings, there's a lot of talk about Wash ending up being #1, and we're starting to see you guys starting to get some stuff together. But what's it kind of like looking from your perspective and how your team's progressing through the season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any secret. I think like the first 2 weeks, I feel like we definitely were not playing at the level we thought we could. And I think there's a lot to be desired from us. And I really think that we've had put in a lot of work over the last week or so. We've gotten a lot of advice. We've watched a lot of things that we believe we've been doing wrong, and I hope that this is just the start and beginning of us, starting to claw our way back and, get some more wins and hopefully put those 2 weeks behind us.
I mean, I like that answer. I can't wait to see how that progresses. I'd love to see you guys claw your way back to the top. A long mountain to climb up against. However, let's go ahead and talk about this last game. Let's break it down a little bit here. Starting to look at your draft. Civil Lock was kind of talking about it on the cast, but he said he had a draft plan ready for you. Brendan said, nah, threw that out the window. And it looked like it worked out pretty well for you guys. So from your perspective, what's some things you wanted? What's some things you watched out for? And did you get what you want and how it played out?
It was super funny. We really wanted to go with the Amumu Misfortune, but then they ended up picking it. So with Seraphine Volibear not banned in open, we knew that that was kind of where our first win came from, was getting those two champs first. So we just kind of mirrored that, and then I think, I mean, you could see it from our first win. The only champion that was different was mine, and it seemed to work out again. I mean, Seraphine's just a disgusting champion. So if we can pick her, then obviously you guys could see Llama on Seraphine and those disgusting ults that he had.
Yeah, I mean, I did see a lot of that movement, and yeah, and when we look at your lane in particular, the Mordekaiser versus Camille matchup, I think it's traditionally very favored toward Camille, but it seemed like you were able to kind of flip that and kind of like really dictate that lane and kind of the pace of the game to the top side. What was kind of your guys' comms and your plan coming into that, and how you were able to pull it off?
Yeah, before we fired up the game, we were kind of just debating between TP and Ignite, because we knew that obviously with Camille and Galio, they're looking for those big team fight plays. So I was a little bit concerned that I maybe wouldn't be able to rotate in time, but I think taking Ignite makes that matchup a lot easier for me, or at least it evens it out if it is an even matchup. I think I've had a lot of success against Camille before as Mordekaiser, but taking Ignite there, I felt like really helped out for me. It kind of had some kill pressure to it, and my team rallied around that too. And I think that we played topside pretty heavily this game as well, so that has a lot to do with how the game turned out.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things was really early. I saw Llama walk over, ward their blue buff, and then you three as a team, like from all angles, collapsed on that, and we really kind of dictated the pace. That was just me as kind of a fan saying something. But overall, I noticed you guys were able to pick your fights a lot better. You looked for the things you wanted, and particularly where that one dragon fight was chaotic, where it took about 2 lives for some of you. What's something you guys have practiced? Like, how are you reaching this new level of committing to these really quick decisions, and how you think that's going to affect going into your matches going forward?
Well, a lot of our feedback has been, being more decisive, committing, even though it might not be a good play. If someone's confident that we can win it, we have to rally behind the team. Because there was a lot of indecision. We felt like for the first 2 weeks, nobody was really shot calling. We were just kind of half shot calling. Maybe we can go in. Maybe we can do this. And I think we're just really hard committing to stuff now, and it's showing. I think it's showing a lot more discipline. That dragon fight was just super bonkers. It was terrible. I'm sure we'll have to review that because it was just kind of crazy. But I think overall, obviously, it worked out for us. But sometimes those are the fights that we're told to commit to. It's if we're strong enough, we believe we can win it. Then let's just do the clown fiesta and dance around the pit.
I think that's fair. I like those answers. Those are very well articulated, I think. And, we're going to go take a quick look forward into your match tomorrow. You're going to be going against Team PTP. I'm sure your mid laner, Llama, is really looking forward to that match in particular. But what about for the rest of you, and how are you expecting this match to play out?
I think it's just a really important match for us specifically. I mean, like I said before, we're trying to just claw our way back into the standings, and obviously they're kind of right where we are. So we want to win that matchup to get ahead, and coming out of this week, 2-0 would be super favorable for us, obviously. I think overall, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a close game. Obviously, a lot of these teams here, I mean, even C9, I mean, these are some good teams. I mean, the competition is definitely different this year, and, we're obviously hoping for a win tomorrow, and Best of luck, obviously, to them, but we are going to be pushing hard for that win.
I like that. I like that. And I got one last question for you, and I'm sure it's going to come back to haunt you, but I'm not going to let you get away without answering it. Which coach is better, Sivlock or Fang over Fang?
Oh God, you're gonna make me answer that. You know, uh, Brennan, I'm sorry. I mean, I know that we had that moment in the captain's draft where I was supporting you as Yumi, and we shared that moment. But Sivlock, you're the man, bro. I mean, you've helped us out a lot, but it's been a team effort. Brennan's been helping out a lot too.
I'm so glad you answered that. I'm going to hold that over for him for a little bit because, I was fully expecting to hear a Discord disconnecting sound there, but that's all right. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, PJ Salt. I appreciate it. Congratulations again on your victory, and we're looking forward to your match tomorrow. To all of you fans out there, thank you so much for spending your time with us here today. This will be it for the night, but however, you can always check us out on the Connect, the Lounge, and many other forums. You can join our Discord, contact all these fantastic players, play a couple games with them in the in-houses. They're usually reachable, and with that, we look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow, 4:30 PST. Don't miss it. Alright, perfect. You're all set.